So I did watch your anime and review video. I think it must have been like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where you sort of had like your lineup of things you recommended watching. That was quite interesting because I was like, I want to learn about anime.
Yeah, I mean, I make those.
The man.
I can't take you seriously when you say that.
I'm not joking.
I was like, I want to learn about anime.
I want to learn about anime.
You know.
It's like hearing
my dad.
Yeah, it's like my dad is like,
I want to learn about this Minecraft thing you're doing. It looks good.
There's this thing called animation, but like
I heard about these things called Let's Plays.
Gant is like the good one, and I want to hear his thoughts. He's the voice of reason and credibility.
Gant is the good one.
He's the voice of reason, and I thought if I want to learn about anime,
well, I mean, you're already into anime, right? Like you like Satoshi Kon and Akira.
Yeah, I love them.
That's anime.
But I mean, just by watching like 4 films doesn't make me like into anime.
But there's a lot of shows that are like that in the same vein that I reckon he'd get into.
Ghost in the Shell.
I mean, there's no one that can
hanging
replace
fruit again.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it's like exactly the same or better, but like it's kind of in the same
the same vibe.
Yeah, it's the same vibe. Yeah.
But I feel like I've neglected anime. The reason I don't watch anime is just because growing up I didn't know anyone that watched it, and there was no sort of.
Would you say it had like a bad connotation as well to watch anime? To be like,
a little bit, certainly in the UK, I think it's seen as like a very geeky, losery thing.
I think everywhere.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair at all. But
I mean, it's a lot different now. Like we've said multiple times. Like I think when we were growing up, like our age group, you'd get bullied for watching.
Oh
anime.
fuck yeah!
But nowadays you get bullied. Nowadays kids,
bullied for breathing.
Nowadays kids get bullied for not watching anime.
Yeah,
or not watching certain anime.
That's
not keeping up with it, right?
And that's what popular kids are watching now.
Yeah. All the popular kids are like, I love Naruto.
Based on your filmography.
Fully. But no, I do want to investigate a bit further.
Investigate.
You're saying this as if you're like,
I want to dip my toes into this anime business. What do you recommend? What, based on what I know and like Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Satoshi Kon, feed that into.
Wait, have you seen Ghost in the Shell?
Yes, of course.
You know, like the iceberg meme.
Well, the movie, not the live action.
This
shit.
is literally
Don't talk about that silly film.
I think
he's watching like the best of the best, and like degenerate.
I think
the deeper you go down, like
that's how you get someone into anime. Right? I think you'd really enjoy baccano.
Baccano's good.
That's like a good entry level TV series.
What happens?
Okay, so it's kind of like hard to explain.
Like one sentence.
All right, it's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino, Guy Ritchie film turned into an anime.
That's good. Yeah. That's a good synopsis.
Yeah.
A good little line to get me in. Yeah.
Actually, anything Naito Diogo makes is kind of like that, right? Like Durarara is also the same.
That was a much more exciting description than what he said about Rem and Ram and Ramen.
Well, no. I don't think you'll like ReZero. I have a suspicion you might not like ReZero. You're not going to like ReZero.
Story and she's endearing. Oh, brilliant. I don't want endearing. I want Tarantino.
They're not even the main characters. This is the funniest thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's the main character? Rom.
Rom. That is actually a character in ReZero.
That is a character.
There is an
I can predict anime. I know anime without watching it.
Yeah. He's the old guy who. He's the old guy.
Is he endearing?
Kind of.
He's kind of affable,
Kind of affable. That's the word of this podcast.
I
was thinking maybe something like Redline. You might like.
What films do you like? What films?
Something sci-fi, gritty, bit of something dark, some sort of neo-noir.
Psychopaths.
Psychopaths.
Cowboy Bebop too, maybe.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Everyone says I would like Cowboy Bebop.
I think you'd like Cowboy Bebop.
Should I watch it on Netflix? Was that?
No.
No, okay. So there's 2 versions of Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. Go for the animated
version. Did it get cancelled?
Yeah, season 2 got cancelled. Yeah,
that's sad, isn't it? Sad when that happens.
Yeah, I think you'll really like Cowboy Bebop and
Psychopaths. I think you'd actually
Psychopaths.
Really enjoy.
I think you'll like Psychopaths.
Psychopaths. Yeah, it's a dystopian future where you're rated based on your mental health score.
Sounds like real life, Connor.
Yeah,
dystopian futures now.
Well, no, it's like there's an all-knowing algorithm that knows your mental health stability, and if you're like psychotic, it just kills you.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up show.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And of course, who's going to do the killing? But these enforcers. And it's a pretty harsh story where you follow with these enforcers having to basically just murder people, and it's really fucking.
Yeah, it's really good.
So they have my kind of thing.
It's really good actually.
They have this gun, right? They have this gun, and you point at the person, and the gun scans what their mental health is, and if their mental health
quantifies their mental health.
Yeah, if their the gun goes from just stun gun to just obliterating a person to their atoms. based on how bad their mental
What's the
health
gun
is.
called again? It's like Annihilator or something?
Dominator.
Is this like a
that's
future
it.
where the dislike button was never hidden then? Because now it's gone. My mental health is so much better on YouTube. But that's a cool premise.
Yeah, it's a very cool
You
premise.
should watch it.
I'll
really
check
good.
it out. Psycho pass.
Psycho Pass.
I actually think you would enjoy that. Actually, like
Because if you're a psycho, you pass. Is that
I think it's more the opposite. If you're a psycho, you don't pass.
so psycho die?
Psycho die. Psycho die.
I feel really old and out of the times now.
Man,
Help me
you
get in.
should, you should start titling anime Psycho Die, Ram and Ram.
Yeah.
Rem and Ram.
Ram and Ram.
All right. I'll get into.
Probably,
I'll
you
check it
probably
out.
enjoy it more than the new Matrix that you were talking
I feel like
about.
I feel like you're just more into general like films, right? And
Yeah.
and cinematography and
Perhaps.
staying up with the news and stuff.
But I
like
think
that.
a lot of the best cinematography comes out of anime films. Just watching Akira the other day, I was like, holy shit, the cinematography of this is
Oh,
like
yeah. It's brilliant.
the best, 10 out of 10. So I kind of want to go down the anime rabbit hole. And
Yeah, I mean, like,
explore them a bit more.
Do you still like look at films the same way now, or do you focus more on like cinematography and just the general filmmaking craft?
I still think I do look at cinematography a lot, but I still think story is really important. Like I just
Yeah.
watched The Matrix 4
Yeah.
Resurrections, and it was all right. It's very meta. It kind of comments on itself a lot,
Yeah.
and I recommend watching it. But there's no sort of replay value. I ask myself, a film is good. If a film is good, I want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to rewatch it, I can't even say rewatch it.
Yeah.
If I don't want to rewatch it, then it's not overly great in my
right,
opinion.
right.
I think you'd like One Punch Man. Weirdly enough,
One Punch Man.
I think you'd like it. I
don't know.
I think you'd like it.
Really?
I think so.
I think anyone can enjoy One Punch Man.
I think you'd find it amusing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the cinematography is insane.
But there's a point. But I think there'll come a point where he'll watch One Punch Man and be like, "Oh, this joke again."
I mean, I think you'd enjoy it. I don't think it'd be like your most favorite anime
Right.
of all time.
It's no
'cause
Satoshi Kon.
it's no Satoshi
It's no
Kon.
Satoshi
Well,
Kon.
no,
That's
there is no Satoshi Kon.
What did you say?
Unfortunately.
What did you fucking say? I'm going to stick you in a crane game machine. Head first, Connor.
It's good like popcorn entertainment.
Yeah.
I feel.
Popcorn.
Because I remember this weekend I finally saw Dune.
Yeah.
Not in cinemas, unfortunately. So I didn't.
Oh, no.
I didn't feel the subwoofers.
You
but
didn't,
like,
you didn't
film.
feel the voice.
oh my god! Like even
That film needs to be watched.
even watching it on my TV, I felt like it was getting bass out of the TV that just didn't exist, man. Like I don't know how it was
like a
possible.
subwoofer was
that
formed.
$300 TV. I know because you have the same one. That would not do it.
I watched
justice.
that at IMAX. I nearly cried. It was like my ears
Yeah.
were like bleeding. It was like Hans Zimmer, but like that was pretty good.
But my god, like the cinematography in that was fucking insane. I
Oh,
thought.
Dude, Dune is good if Dune 2 comes out and if it's good.
it is coming out,
Well,
right?
it is coming out.
is.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, is it going to be good? I mean, the
Yeah.
Dune one was amazing if Dune 2 is good.
Because like it was weird because it didn't feel like I was watching a movie. It felt like I was watching a HBO TV series or something like that. Like when it ended, it felt like it was an end of an episode rather than just an end of a movie.
Right.
But it wasn't necessarily bad.
I didn't really like the ending, and I hate. Oh, I don't know if it spoils it, but just by saying the last line of the film, when she's like, "This is just the beginning." I was like, "Oh no, don't say that." That's like, "There's a storm coming." That sort of like shit line you see in so many films.
I mean, to be fair, it is based off a '60s book. So
yeah.
you have to
like
put that
Dune.
into consideration.
But other than that,
7,
it
8
was
out of 10. I think
good. How much?
7, 8 out of 10. I'd
Maybe
give it.
an 8.5.
I'd give it like an 8 or a 9. Because the story just picks up from there as well,
Yeah.
like if you read the books. But yeah,
I mean,
so I'm looking forward
it
to
was just like my kind of story where it just set up the world really well. I was more interested. Like I watched the film and then I just went on a binge of just lore explanation videos because I'm just like, there are so many interesting aspects to this world that they just kind of didn't have time to explore.
Yeah, Frank Herbert was nuts, dude. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like how old's the book now? Like fucking
Well, first book was 1964.
My
I
God.
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I spoil one thing in it? Can we do a spoiler warning?
Okay,
Sure.
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler. One thing I really didn't like about the film is that they had this really. So again, spoilers. Please watch Dune, please, if you haven't. This is really supposed to be, especially like a really impactful scene where he kills someone for the first time.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
But then, like, it's supposed to be a really big deal, but they just like bring it up like 1 second before he kills someone for the first time. They're like, by the way, he's never killed anyone. Starts stabbing a man to death, and it's like, oh, don't really think that was that difficult.
it's a bit anticlimactic.
I wish they'd
isn't
have
it?
like built it up from the start, so that other than
Yeah.
that's the only gripe I had with
Well,
it.
it's a strange film because the big set pieces happen sort of halfway through rather than at the end.
Yeah,
And I felt
yeah.
a little bit. I'm all for changing up the sort of story and doing something a little bit original, but
Yeah.
I felt like the payoff at the ending was like, oh.
Well, I don't even think it needed a big set piece. That wasn't the highlight for me because actually I was so immersed in the world that when it went to the big set piece, I was like, can we just go back to doing like small shit?
Yeah.
Like I just.
Oh yeah, no, I'd have loved that.
Yeah.
The political aspect was really
cool, right?
It was one of those films that I was like bored for the first 40 minutes, and then after I'd kind of sat through all the good stuff, I was like, actually, now I want more of the start boring stuff.
More talking.
But I wonder that's why when you're making it, is it hard to see it from a perspective of someone who doesn't know anything about the lore of Dune? How do you do it when you already know so much about it and you know how good the lore is, and how do you explain it in a way that's engaging? Because I do think, I don't know if you were, but I was bored for the first 40 minutes. Just waiting for something to happen.
I wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The world was pretty engrossing.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of I'm gonna mention it again, Joey. Arcane, where the first 2 episodes, nothing really technically happened.
Oh, I want Chris to watch that actually. He'd love it.
What's that about?
No, you should
Summarize that in a line.
if you go to that side, I'm truly alone.
Have we gone a week without mentioning it?
No,
I actually want.
I legitimately can. I legitimately want someone to make one of those things where it's like it's been blank days since Arcane was mentioned. I just rip it off
You need
every
to watch
week.
it. It's amazing.
Amazing shit.
I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Wasn't it like one of the top
What's it
shows on
about?
IMDb?
What's it about?
How would you explain it, Gon? You're clearly better.
about
In one sentence.
League of Legends.
Again.
One sentence. There's no way I can just describe it in one sentence.
League of Legends.
It's just a very engrossing world that's kind of like.
Say
Dune,
what it
I
is.
guess.
It's League of Legends.
It's League of Legends.
It's based off of the game, sort of. Not really,
no.
though. No. I know.
Raid of Shadows again.
It's not. Just give it a watch. Give it a chance. The animation is insane.